Kitefoiling is an exciting and challenging discipline of kite sports, one which many start due to its efficiency in light winds, but soon grow to love the unique feeling whatever the conditions. But it's only recently that the kite industry has developed products that make foiling accessible to a mainstream audience, with equipment that is far easier to learn on. Riding a hydrofoil is very different to what you'll be used to on your twin tip or surfboard. It requires a finesse in your board control. Subtle movements can have a huge impact. And it takes time to retrain your body and gain the muscle memory needed to act in this way. For many, it's a humbling experience, taking them back to being a beginner once again. For some, that's hilarious and a challenge to overcome, but for others, it's embarrassing and hugely frustrating. But it doesn't have to be that way. With patience, understanding, the right equipment and conditions, you can be up and riding the board very quickly and foiling before you know it. Hovering nearly a metre off the water does mean there'll always be some explosive crashes, but progression is here to minimise them and give you the confidence required so you can learn the basics quicker. And once it clicks into place, the feeling of gliding over choppy water is addictive. The challenge of learning these new techniques and tricks opens up a whole new world for any kiteboarder. This first collection of kitefoiling videos will cover everything you need to know and understand to take you from your very first time setting up your foil through to being up and riding on the foil. The stages of learning to hydrofoil. This video will look at the overall stages you need to go through if you want to learn to kitefoil in the easiest, safest and quickest way possible. Refer back to it regularly to ensure you aren't missing any steps and skills, which will slow down your overall progression. Equipment and terminology. This free equipment and terminology video will cover all aspects of the equipment needed to kitefoil and what will allow you to improve the quickest. We'll look at the boards, kites and safety equipment, and of course all the parts that make up the actual foil. Key concepts for hydrofoiling with a kite. There are some fundamental concepts that will help in all aspects of riding a hydrofoil, starting with understanding the basics of how a hydrofoil works compared to your twin tip or surfboard. We'll also look at how we control the movement of the foil and the importance of our weight distribution. Getting out on the water. This is where we really start to learn how to use our foil, starting with setting it up ready for your first sessions. We'll look at how to carry a foil and board, and what you'll do on the beach before you head out. Then we'll head into the water, learn more about how a foil reacts to the water, and thus how best to walk with it, and then the different ways of body dragging. Water starts. You've got to get up on the board, and this technique is very similar to what we're used to with our twin tips. But here is where you first realise that a little weight in the wrong place can have alarming results. Change your technique in a few fundamental ways, and we'll have you up and on the board ready for your first runs. Riding and control. This is the most important part of learning to kitefoil and requires you to first master riding off the foil so you can get used to the extra lift and change in weight distribution required. Then you'll look at rising up onto the foil and those first short rides gliding over the water. There'll be techniques for riding with more power upwind. And finally, we'll look at riding downwind, requiring more control of the foil. So starting once again off the foil before experiencing the speed and exhilaration of downwind foiling. First gybes, off the foil. Here we'll cover the off the foil jibe, so you can aim to ride both ways staying dry. The foil under the water still has a massive amount of impact on your riding, and this is an important step to better understand how more extreme movements on the board during the foot change and then how banking the board affects the foil when carving through a 180-degree turn. All this will be the building blocks necessary for when you move on to foiling gybes, foot changes, toe side riding, and tacking, all to be covered in future progression videos. And of course, through all these videos, the common mistakes sections are vital to your progression. They will quickly help you to get past reoccurring problems that you encounter.